Oh, hey, there we go. All right. We're live. Goodness gracious. Let me share some stuff here. A whole concurrent viewer. Oh my goodness. Yo, he did it. He's first. Oh my gosh, Cody. Yeah, what's up, guys? What's this? Oh. Hi everybody. How are y'all doing? I haven't even shared the stream yet. Let me know if like music and my voice volume and everything is okay. Because I haven't streamed since like 100,000 subs, so we're significantly bigger. And hi everybody. Hi Nathan, Hero, what's up? Yeah, but I haven't streamed in a while, so what's up? Seely, I noticed you a while ago. I noticed you in the comments. Utao, what's up? I'm gonna be answering questions about Clip Studio Paint and how to draw. Maybe not how to draw, but how to operate the software for sure. But do I even need, dude? Do I even need to tweet this out? We're already at 130 viewers. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I was just gonna answer questions from people and teach you how to use software properly. I didn't come with a plan. Can you draw SFG2? I don't even know what that is. The Wicked, I do remember you. I see you in the comments often, actually. I'm pretty sure. Hello, hello. Yo, Toast, what's up? I'm good, Kanoe? How do we animate in clip art? I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna maybe teach you the very basics, and then I'll probably chop this up, make it into like a 10-minute video of all the most helpful bits, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, let's how do I, Jesus, I forget how to share my stuff. Oh my goodness. Yes, the power of amazing animated content. You guys aren't even like, okay, so look at this. I set up 2 views here. You guys can see the beautiful, like, what is this called? All the panels, all the technical stuff. Usually I just show like where I'm drawing, but you guys are gonna need to see the timeline and how all that works. So, but I think to start, we'll just hop into like a brand new, fresh project, and I'll tell you all my settings and all that stuff. Chamturk, I don't remember you, I'm sorry, but I love you for being here. How long does one animation usually take to animate? Absolutely depends on the project. Like, I don't know, the recent ones, probably like 6 hours, most 2 recent ones. Any of like the Red Demon videos and that whole playlist, those take days to make, like several days. The recent one with Alia took, I think, 5 days to make. So, yes, a lot of buttons, a lot going on. A lot going on. How long am I doing this? Since last October. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look. Oh my gosh, look, it's Akka, guys. Everybody go sub to Akka. She's here in chat. Okay, I need to tweet this. Actually, Akka, can you tweet that is live and I'll retweet it? Because I don't know which link I should share. I don't want to accidentally share a private link. I'm fake. I'm a fraud. I know. What's the longest animation you've ever made? Oh goodness, I don't even know. Whatever the longest one on my channel is. Yeah, thanks, Ren. I don't know what this SCP is, but I hate SCP. Get that out of my face. Stop spamming that. Okay. Let's talk animation, gamers. Let's not say that. Let's start a new file. Oh, are you not gonna be able to see this window? What if I? There we go. Look at that. Look at this Sigma brain stuff happening here. Okay. Here's what pops up when you're making a new project. There is an animation template. I actually don't use this. And I don't use this because it overcomplicates stuff, and I most of the time don't use a lot of like the default features it has. Sue me, okay? I keep it real simple. I keep it real simple. Okay, let me retweet this. Thank you. Queen. Let me also make a community post. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Guys, I'm not professional, like in any way, shape, or form. I didn't even announce that I was going live. I just like decided we're doing it today. Professional streamer. Professional streamer. Okay. We're back. We're back. I'm sorry. I'm reading chat again. Oh my gosh, Mules, you did not have to throw $20 at me. Thank you, though. Love you. Did you just disrespect? Wow. I don't know. It's not that disrespectful. Lonnie's here too. Go up to her. She just posted ASMR. Very exciting. They're making content. The children are loose. I'm just here for the booba. Well, there's not gonna be a lot of booba because I'm explaining how to make animations. Okay. Let's go. Gamer mode. So, as I was saying, I just use the default illustration settings and I customize stuff as I go and add it as I need it. Generally, I animate in 2K, so 2560, height 1440. This is all the stuff that I wish tutorials give you. Oh, thank you, Nate, for the $5, man. Love you. Just Nate's Fukin Anime. Cinnamon Simon, oh, I remember you from last stream, like months ago. Thank you. Thanks for the $2. But yeah, this is all the stuff that I wish people told me was important when I had started animating. Like, you'll find tutorials on how to draw and what keyframing is, but nobody tells you, like, oh, if you're just making a YouTube video that's gonna be rendered out at 1080p, you don't need to have a crazy resolution, right? Don't bog your computer down with hundreds of frames at 4K. So, I keep it at 2K, and the reason I do is because even though it's rendering out at 1080p, well, Rebax's incredible question, and I'm answering it right now. Why don't I upload in 2K? Because, let me flip over here to my tablet view. What actually is going to be shown on screen when I render is whatever's in this blue box. This is an animation camera. So, this blue box is what's rendered, and that is not at 2K. And actually, the size of that will change depending on how I adjust that camera. So, if I'm animating at 2K and I drop the camera down to 1080p, that means I can move this blue box anywhere on that 2K canvas and it'll still have a 1080p image. So, for example, I can just grab this camera, and if I wanted to show this bottom corner over here and center on this leaf, I can. And now, when I actually play, the camera's gonna start there. I have it keyframed elsewhere, but that's how you can pan the camera around a scene, essentially. So, there you go. Always, whenever you start a new project, overdo your resolution, essentially. But you don't need to make it 4K. Okay, so let's pop open a new project here. Pop back over the overview. Resolution, this is DPI. As far as I understand, DPI is only if you're actually like physically printing stuff. So I have it set to 350. I doubt I'll ever be printing any of my frames, but here's basically my settings. Pop in, blank canvas, no timeline, nothing. This is just straight up drawing mode. I could hop on layer 1 here, throw down some lines, whatever. We're learning how to draw today. Once I get through the basics, then I'll actually start like fielding questions like one-on-one, and you know, whatever you need to know. Whatever you need to know, I will try to answer. But I think how I always start every project is I just create my own timeline. And here's some of the really basic animation principles. So your frame rate is how many drawings per second that your animation is going to be. So if you are drawing every single frame and you're animating at 60 frames per second, that is 60 pictures per second of animation, and this is why animation takes a really long time. I usually have my frame rate of my timeline set to 24, but I animate on doubles, which means I only draw every other frame. So technically, I'm only animating at 12 frames per second, but it still gets rendered at 24. And the reason I have my frame rate at 24 is because whenever you do liquid effects or splattering effects, or even like super fast motion, I animate on every frame, so I animate on singles. So whenever you see like water running or blood splatters or muzzle flash in a bullet or someone jumping or punching something, I always animate on singles just for the speed. Playback time, this is your total frames in your timeline. I have it set right now, so I believe all of my default timeline is 34 seconds, because I try to shoot for a 30-second video, and cards are about 5 seconds long, so there you go. That's why all of my videos, if you look, a lot of them end at 34 seconds, because that is my default timeline. Oh, Mules, thanks for the $5. Scatter, it's the FBI gray run. I'm not doing anything legal, though. I'm fine. I'm fine. C number, shot number, division. This is all stuff that I don't think I hardly ever use. So I wouldn't worry about it to start, honestly. This is even a little above my head. But basic timeline settings, and then you'll see timeline will populate in your timeline window. Timeline window, you can actually, it's not here by default. My UI is custom set up, but if you need to pull out your timeline, you can just go to the window and grab the timeline from here. And then you just drag it wherever you want to go. I definitely understand everything being said. Look, it's not too bad. This is, I'm going over like the most basic of basics. Nate's Fukin Anime, thanks for the $5, man. How long does each frame take you to draw? Of course, love your stuff. Entirely depends on what is on the frame. Like if I'm just drawing Plum hopping up and down in like bean cat form, like a minute per frame, real quick. But if I have multiple characters on frame or whatever, like the one where like Lonnie's sitting on the chair, like just to get like the basic shape of that takes me like 45 minutes, an hour to get it laid out and looking how I like it. And then usually if a frame takes me that long, I don't actually do a ton of movement or whatever, just because I can't afford to spend that long. I'm not a very fast artist, so yeah, it just depends on the complexity of the frame, but I try to keep it low. And if takes me a long time, I just don't do a lot of movement in that scene, and I kind of find a way around it. Toffee, thanks for the $5. Why do I feel like this will be another stream where Greg will keep getting distracted by trying to do zero drawings? That's probably what'll happen, but I'm gonna have fun doing it. Yo, Jack, thanks for the $5, brother. Appreciate you. Caught me live. Chris, what's up? Okay, so now that we have our basic timeline set up, we're gonna go into how layers actually work in the timeline and what all this means, because for the life of me when I started, I could not find a single person who explained how to properly use an animation folder, how to actually set up frames well, how to loop stuff, how to keyframe cameras, any of that. How do I draw the eyes? I'm not actually going to go over how I draw specific things. I'm more going over the technicals of the software, because I think that's overnight you can't become a great artist, but if I can overnight teach you how to use your tools well, you'll notice you're drawing a lot better and animating a lot better. Hugh asks, how many frames could be possible in, say, a 30-second clip? Well, I animate at 24 frames per second, so take 24 times 30, and it's, I think, somewhere in like the 800 or 700 range. I don't know. A lot of frames could be. Jack, thanks for the 10. Draw Plum as a god in Akam. No, I will not. This is not that kind of stream. Okay. So how to actually use the timeline. So I just sat there and stared at chat forever. You always start with your paper. Paper is essentially just a white background. You can't even delete it. You can make it transparent. and it'll look like this. There'll be no background. So if you're trying to render like an animated emote, you'd want to get rid of your background in your paper. But very basics. Always start this button right here, new animation folder, bada bing, bada boom, and it'll pop over here in your layers, and it'll look very different than just like a typical layer folder, which looks like this, and a typical layer looks like that. You'll see here it's also created this blank space in the timeline that lines up with that animation folder. So let's just call this, I don't know, test folder. Boom. We have our test animation folder, and to actually put frames on the timeline, you'd right click anywhere on the timeline and drop in a new animation cell. This is what every tutorial I have found. Oh gosh, FBI drywall man said you and Akka were up to no good grades. That's true. I'm up to a lot of good. I'm teaching the public for free education. Okay, so every tutorial I have come across always says just new animation cell, and this is how you do your frames. So you can see we have frame 1, then 2, then 3, and if I were to draw on these, frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, and I were to play through this, I don't know, place, oh shoot, I'd have to switch the other one to show it, but essentially as the timeline moves across, it'll play between those 3 frames. I personally really hate this way of making frames, cells, whatever you want to call them. Generally what I actually do is inside my animation folder, I create another subfolder, and this folder, everything in this folder will act as frame 1. So I could add as many layers as I want, and they will all display when it comes across cell 1. And if I were to make cell 2, it actually copies that format. So I still have this folder with all those layers. It'll all be blank, but it's going to keep that format of the previous cell, which is really handy when you're doing complex drawings with color and everything. So essentially, don't just use a flat layer as a cell, use folders as cells. So now that we know to use folders as cells, actually before I go on, you can actually add subfolders inside each cell as well. So if I wanted to add another folder inside this, I could add as many as I wanted. You could essentially have entire illustrations for each frame, as opposed to if I were to just use a flat layer, it would only be that one layer for the entire cell. So you could only display one layer at a time. So if I were to draw on layer 1 and then on layer 2, I actually can't because it's not being displayed. Another thing to note, if I'm trying to, let's say, copy from layer 1 and it's not in a folder, and let's just Control X, Control V this, it'll paste it over here on a new layer and it won't display because it's not in a folder. So, moral of the story, always animate your cells inside a folder. There we go. I'm sorry, am I too technical? I don't know how much I can, like, I'm gonna have to use animation terms. If you have like no knowledge of animation or any of this, it's probably gonna be really rough unless you've played around with it. So yes, onion is very possible. So let's talk about onion skinning. Let me make a couple of cells here. And I'm very aware that this stream isn't going to appeal to everybody, because it's definitely on the technical side. So let's just assign these 5 frames. I think 5 is going to be enough. So onion skinning is super helpful, and despite the goofy name, it has nothing to do with onions. It's just a way to show your previous and future cells in your timeline at once. So if I were to turn on onion skinning, actually there's a hotkey right here, or a little button, you don't have to go into settings. So if I were to enable onion skinning, and let's say I draw on frame 1, little stick man, and then I go to frame 2, that stick man will still show up even though I'm out of his timeline area. So now I could go on to, like, I don't know, make him start moving. And so essentially you're able to see multiple frames and have a little bit more consistency when you're drawing. So you're not like, oh, I don't know what's on this, I don't know what I drew on frame 4. I'm just gonna guess it was over here. If I hit it off and I go back and draw, right, it's not gonna align. Onion skinning allows me to align that. And future cells show up in green, past cells show up in red. Goodness, speech jammed. So yeah, you can absolutely do onion skinning in Clip Studio Paint, and actually you can adjust how long and how intense you want the onion skins to be. I haven't changed my settings in a while, but I want to say it could be, no, it's in this folder or this menu. There we go, onion skin settings. So let me pop this up here. So I could basically say if I wanted to show, I don't know, 6 frames in the past and 2 in the future, and I wanted them to start at 90% opacity and step down to 15, I could. So you can adjust the onion skin to show as much or as little as you want, but your onion skin, geez, will only show what's in that animation folder. So if I were to add another animation folder under this, let's say like a background, and I want some blue background. Let's just make a blue background. The onion skin, even if I have it toggled and have this timeline or this animation folder selected, it won't show the onion skin for the stick guy. If I hop up here, it will though. What are your thoughts on Jack? Thank you for the $5. What are your thoughts on Morbius? It's Morbin time, baby. 20 more billion tickets? That's a lot. That's a good amount of tickets as well. Sarcastic Sulfur, thanks for the $5. It pleases me to hear this. Plus, what? Oh no, this is a joke I don't get. Reference I don't get. Dang it. Dang it. How many frames per second look actually clean? If you do every single frame at 24 frames per second, usually people are like, oh my gosh, this is the smoothest animation I've ever seen. It's insane, dude. Crazy. So 24 frames per second generally is impressive to people. 12 is pretty standard though, and I think actually most anime is animated at 12. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Except for like effects, like particle effects. And we'll get into keyframing actually in a bit here. Oh, Nate, thank you for the tenor, man. Thank you so much for this. Actually, very helpful. I'm starting to get what you're saying. I'm glad. I am glad. Which waifu do I find the most difficult to draw? Probably Alia. I hate drawing her hair, and I'm tempted to redesign it just for that fact. It's Morbin time. You got morbed. You got morbed. You draw all frames, or is it fine copy and paste? Okay. On the topic of copying and pasting, oh my gosh, is it okay to copy and paste? So let's move on to this one. This is animation that's coming out kind of soon. And you can see my timeline here. And I don't name my timeline because I'm an absolute monkey. But, we'll zoom in a bit here. You can see that I'm not animating at even 12 frames per second. So you can see this first image holds for 6 frames. And then after that, you can see each frame holds for 2 frames, or each cell holds for 2 frames. And then when I actually get into like that little drop falling off, I speed it up a bit just because I don't want that drop hanging in the air for a 1/12 of a second. So if I actually go to play this, it ends up looking pretty smooth. But yes, copy and pasting, like I did not redraw that leaf every single frame here. This is me copying and pasting and just shifting it a little bit. And then, yeah, copy and paste away, man. Seriously, copy and paste away and like almost move it like stop motion if you can get away with it. Tips on coloring. Okay, I am in no way a colorer or painter. I'm not great at it. Hence why most of my videos are black and white or like super monochrome, like flat colors, because I don't actually like painting or shading. This was my attempt to practice doing highlights and everything's in grayscale because I don't want to deal with the whole color theory, like how to shift your colors in darkness, but there's a little like transparency and whatever. We need a tutorial for booba physics. Ruben, no. You can, it's not that hard. Just look up how to draw a bouncing ball. Oh, the leaf reminds you of Morbius. Get morbed. It actually is a reference to Morbius. Okay, back to learning. Back to learning. So, I think, actually, does anyone have any like questions on what I've covered? I feel like I'm back TAing. Like, I kind of went fast, but I'm trying to get through the basics so we can get into like the meat of camera work and keyframing and like follow through and stuff like that. Jack, do not throw $10 at me so you can talk about how you cried because I morbed. This stream made me cry. The moment Grace had its morbing time and morbed all over chat brought tears to my eye. It made me so happy. I will remember this day for the rest of my years. Oh my, morbed. Can someone explain the nanomachines meme to me? I don't get the nanomachines meme. $10 well spent. No, it wasn't. No idea how to use keyframes. Okay, we can talk about keyframes. And I'll actually like show you a legitimate example of keyframes. I don't really have a use for it in this, so I'll have to make something up. We'll hop back over. Okay, let's get rid of this frame. Let's keep the blue background. I kind of like it. Hop back over here. You guys can see everything. So on the topic of keyframes, let me do like a comparison here. I'm making 3 animation folders here, and I'm gonna do one keyframed, or actually I'm gonna do 2 keyframed in different ways, and then I'll hand animate one. So let's get the 2 keyframes out of the way, and then I can hand animate it, and you guys can see sort of the difference here. Mules, thanks for the tenor. When will we get baby Aka and toddler Lonnie? I don't know. I don't really like drawing kids very much. Nor am I great at it. You guys got young Aka and Lonnie though in one of my older videos. So you kind of already have them. Okay, so let's go over keyframing. And to do that, I'm going to let's just do a ball. Let's just do a nice balls, if you will. Let's do one here, and let's copy and paste this over into this other animation layer. See, this is the beauty of being able to copy and paste into folders, is that I can actually just copy and paste as many balls as I want into folder 1. And I think I'm just gonna set them up moving side to side, and then I'll hand animate the last one last, but we'll worry about that later because that'll take some time. Okay, so to start, oh, actually I shouldn't have bumped this all the way up because that's gonna mess up my other view. So let's talk about keyframing. Enabling keyframe on a layer, something to note is if you have keyframes enabled, you actually can't draw in this layer anymore. So if I try to draw here, it won't let me, even though I'm drawing on the layer I just put that ball on. So get all your drawing done first, then keyframe your motion. Okay, to start, we'll talk about linear interpolation keyframing, which essentially means whatever you're moving will move at a constant speed between any points you set. So to drop our first keyframe, we're just gonna hit this button here, and then we'll move down the timeline to wherever we wanna drop our next keyframe. Let's just go 1 second in, and let's move this boy over. And it'll automatically place, you can see here, this green diamond shows that that's a linear interpolation keyframe. Oh geez, okay, I got a $20 to read. Here we go. Jack, thanks for the 20, dude. Oh gosh, you're crazy. You're crazy. Stop throwing money at me. I feel bad. I'm just teaching. It's not even like entertaining. Sitting here, I realize you're not. Wait a minute. Is this? No, this is this. I'm not reading that. Fuck you. Ooh, F you. Sorry. This is Jetstream Sam, isn't it? Am I dumb? Is this a Metal Gear Revengeance reference? I've never played the game. I just get it spammed in my comments, and I hate it so much. Ah, I knew it! I knew it! Villains. Villain energy, bro. Absolute villain. Man just spent $20 to troll me. Okay, but yeah, so the keyframe, once I pop the second keyframe in, you can see the ball is going to move between the two positions I've set on those green diamonds. So if I want to make it loop back, all I do is I can hold Alt and drag this keyframe out to make a duplicate. And now, the ball is just going to bounce back and forth between those two keyframes or key positions that we set. So if I just hit play, oh shoot, you're not going to be able to see it, I'd switch this one. The ball just goes back and forth. Alright, now to do the same thing here with a different one, but with a second ball. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to make it a different color. Make it obvious. Or you know what, I'll make the color match what the keyframe actually is. So usually spline interpolation or smooth interpolation in Clip Studio Paint is blue, and linear is green. So let's just keep that. Let's keep that matching. Okay. So that's smooth linear interpolation. Ball is gonna move at like constant speed. Oh, it's 10. Oh, 10. Love you, dude. Obviously, I know you from Discord. Thanks for the 10. 10, did you get in on the Jackbox night we had in the Patreon Discord? If you guys, shameless plug, if you guys aren't in the Patreon Discord, it's $3 to join, and you can sometimes game and chat with me and the girls. Okay, plug over. So, for smooth or spline interpolation, let's go down to this next ball. We're gonna go to smooth interpolation here for our keyframe creation. And it's gonna pop up as a blue diamond. And now we will move over here. We're gonna move our ball over, and I'm just gonna match underneath it. Oh, that black ball is from this folder I haven't set up yet. And now we're gonna do the same thing. We are just gonna duplicate this first keyframe all the way over. So now these balls are gonna be moving to the same position and back in the same amount of time, but with different keyframe styles, and you'll be able to see a pretty big difference here. So that's kind of quick, but I can space it out. Ooh, Cinnamon Simon, thanks for the $2. Excited for Thor: Love and Thunder? I am, dude. I went and saw Top Gun over the weekend, and I saw the trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. I cannot wait. Okay, so the difference here between linear and smooth interpolation, again, green being linear, blue being smooth, is that the smooth interpolation kind of follows the slow in and slow out principle of animation, meaning it starts off slow and starts to pick up speed, and in the middle it speeds up and then it slows down as it reaches the next keyframe. Where green, you can see, jumps the same amount every single frame. So when I play this again, you'll see they actually hit the same point here in the same amount of time, but the movement is very different. And so times you'd use linear interpolation if you have something falling and it's not speeding up, or maybe some kind of machinery that's consistent movement. But generally the linear interpolation seems super robotic. So it doesn't really feel organic or natural, and there are definitely times to use it. I usually use it a lot when I'm mostly doing camera stuff, because you don't want your camera to like start slow and then speed up really fast and then slow down, unless it's like some kind of stylistic scene. So hopping back here to the overview, you can just see again, keyframes are in the same spot, the positions are in the same spot, but movement is very different. Okay. Now, if I were to try to hand animate something like this, it really depends on what I would want this ball to look like, but usually you want to follow like the, I don't know, slow in, slow out principle, where you have a lot of frames here that the ball is barely moving, and then, oh wait, shoot, I'll switch to the other view. So you have a lot of frames here right at the start where the ball is barely moving, and then it'll move super fast, and then you'll have a lot of frames where it's slowing down. Actually, I'm trying to think if I have like a animation I can open and show you guys where that would be the case. Let me just think of one here. Thank God you guys can't see this. I have all my files open, and I'm scared that you guys are gonna like see projects that you shouldn't see yet. What's a good one where I do that? Is there a recent one where I have like a? Actually, yeah. Let's open. Oh God, if I can find it. Oh, my folders are such a mess, dude. It's like, it's bad. Okay, here we go. Let's open. Where is it? The thumbnails are here, but the actual video isn't. This one should work though. Okay, this video. No one's seen my files. Fuck you, Dave. Love you, Dave. All right. Sorry, my chat was paused too. So, we're talking about, no wait, is this just the... Ah, son of a bitch. This isn't the file I wanted. That's just the thumbnail. Who organized these folders? And why are they so dumb? Dude. Like, honestly, this person's the dumbest person I've ever met. Oh, Nate. Thanks for the $5. Random question, when was your B-Day? If it was past happy birthday, my birthday is later this month, but I'm not gonna share the exact date. I'm sorry for the lack of movement in this stream. It's not intentional. I'm just trying to find like a good finished animation, but I'm not prepared because I'm like a monkey. I'm an absolute monkey when it comes to like preparing things. You know, actually, this is probably the best one. Although I'm gonna have to delete the audio for this because they copyrighted me, those dickheads. Let's delete that while we can right now. Okay. So let's go to, yeah, the blinking is a great example. So we move, oh yeah, if you guys wanted to see what a timeline looked like for this one, this is actually the timeline of like a finished project. Let me move this all the way up. You can see all the different overlapping animation layers. What I animated like frame by frame here. So this is animating on doubles, this whole scene, which is the swirly scene here. You can see all the different frames I drew. But yeah, this is a great example of sort of the slow in, slow out kind of stuff. When I start like her getting like sucked into this whirlpool, right, turning into like a black hole, the motion at the start is pretty minimal. And if I turn on onion skinning, let's turn on for this, you can see that each layer doesn't move very much. But once I get into like the middle here, you can see the jump from orange to red here is a lot more, like significantly more than at the start when stuff is barely moving. And that creates a really fluid swirl effect that speeds up. So yeah, kind of basic, but the amount stuff moves per frame determines the speed that action is happening at. Okay, I got so sidetracked here talking about that kind of stuff, but next question. Yeah, dude, a real bozo organized my files. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm like thorough with all like the random little details, especially for people who are trying to get into animation and who use Clip Studio Paint, although stuff may look really different in different programs, but the thought is like the same. The principles are the same. So let's see here. You may. How long does it take per animation? I answered this a little bit earlier, but some of them can take very long. This one I did in an afternoon. This was one of the fastest animations I've ever made. I think this took like 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. Ray's cousin Dre organized the files. Yep, exactly right, Martini. Yeah, Zora is kind of a minor character, and that's mostly comes down to her and Zell not really being like characters I wanted made for shenanigans. I kind of just made them so I could complain about work in a roundabout way. That's why they're in like an office setting usually. Although Zora's kind of in the newest one with Plum as a maid. The whole like thing was sort of her hiring her to clean the office. Yeah, fastest is 5 hours. Okay. Animation takes a really long time, and I don't think people will understand. I get so many comments that are like, Ray, just make a 5-minute animation. Make 5-minute episodes. On the fast end, with an animation like this, where it's not like a lot of really crazy complex drawings, and I can reuse a lot of stuff, this was 5 hours for 30 seconds of content. So if I make a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video, I'm gonna be there for weeks making one video for you guys, and if it flops, well, I guess I'm SOL. Good luck next time, idiot. Yeah, it will take a week. Honestly, though, Determined Freak, the recent Alia video, which it's my channel. I can't get copyrighted for my own content. I can just pull it up. Look at this. This right here. Oh, no, don't look at my recommended. This video took me 5 days to make. And I think the reason it took so long is just because I was doing a lot of like okay, this whole smoke thing, right? This is all animated at 24 frames per second. If I go through, I was redrawing every single one of that. There's no copy and paste there. Huel, have you ever thought about hired help? I'd love to. I don't make enough money off of YouTube to hire anyone. There's no way. The reason like Aka and Lonnie are hired is because they will collect money from their own channel, so they basically pay themselves with their own content creation and everything. But yeah, so like this, I mean, the smoke alone probably took me like an hour to do, which it really shouldn't have. I was kind of slacking, but yeah, this video just took me a lot longer than usual to make. I couldn't figure out quite how to frame action, and I don't love it, but it was fun to make, and I learned a lot doing it. Got to draw some booty. Cinnamon Simon, $2. Did you watch Cobra Kai? I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm behind. I don't spend a lot of time watching stuff anymore. I draw. Yeah, Hugh. How else do people say it? Huel? Yeah, thank you, Hungry. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was definitely a challenge. I mean, this whole playlist here, these generally take me like 4 to 6 days to make these, because they're just way more dynamic, and I put a lot more effort into the art. And it's a shame when I don't see them do as well, but also understandable. There's no horny or funny, really. It's just me trying to progress technically as an animator. Genuine question, thoughts on loincloths? Lovesick, can't say I'm a fan. What would you say is harder to draw, a man or a woman? Absolutely depends on the level of detail. I personally just don't enjoy drawing men as much, so that's why I draw girls. The like expected male character designs just aren't fun to draw. Usually they're like really jacked, or like the virgin main character. You're either a virgin or a Chad with male character design, and middle of the road characters just don't do well. Dave's for $10, man, is a slave to the grind. Oh, thanks for the 10. I am. Shiver, holy shiver. $50. Sick animations. Animations take a while to make. Just so you know, we appreciate the time that you take to make these. Oh my gosh, thank you, Shiver. I'll be giving the Discord a check out as well. Oh, thank you. It's very nice of you. You just bought me like a lot of lunches. You will. Say, do you have lore about the mass-produced robots of the post-apocalypse? No, I don't. Not yet. I mean, okay, I have an idea for a lot of the lore, but the problem is like, I'm also bringing on more actresses to play the girls, and I want them to have a say in their own personal lore, because that's obviously more fun for them if they're playing a character that they had a hand in, like, you know, deciding the backstory of their character and all that. So I have a loose idea of what I want the characters, like, backgrounds to be, and I've talked about this actually a lot in the Patreon Discord, where I talk about lore and the stuff I don't show on YouTube about what I'm thinking for the girls and everything. But yeah, I don't want to hammer anything out and publicly announce stuff, because then people will hold me to it, and I want the girls to be able to change stuff to more fit their personalities and everything. So right now I'm really just having fun. I mean, I'd like to think that all of my videos are like happening in the same like universe, I guess, the gray cinematic universe, the Akaverse. Because I like, the whole thing is I just like making little slice of life clips about essentially a group of 6 friends. The only thing that actually I think I'm gonna develop into a storyline, regardless of like the girl's background, is the whole Red Demon playlist, which is kind of disjointed right now because I didn't think I was going to turn it into one, but I think now I am going to make some kind of story. So there you go. There's the lowdown on the channel, boys, and what I'm kind of working towards. What are the names of all the girls? Yo, does someone want to help them out for a gold star and a little kiss on the cheek? What do I use to make animations? Well, Jello, wouldn't you believe it? We're going over how to animate right now in Clip Studio Paint EX. Oh no, how do I say this name? Katsuke? Thank you for the $3. That's a very cute dog. How's it going? It's going great. Thank you. I'm glad to be streaming. I really am. Okay. So, back to the topic of what were we talking about? Oh, slow in, slow out. Actually, the eyes blinking is a really great example. Let's like get to that point. Okay. Pop on the old onion skin. So you can see here, this is only 5 frames for this eye to blink, but it looks pretty smooth when I actually play it. And it's really just, I have the eye drawn, copy and pasted it and squished it a little bit. Next frame, I jump to it being completely closed, and I hold it there for 2 frames. And then for an opening, I actually open a little bit slower, so it'll pop open, but then I hold this for 2 frames, and it's back. So, super fast close, and then it kind of holds and takes a little bit longer to open. But when you actually play that, it's only 5 frames, but it is a pretty convincing blink. And if I really wanted to spend some extra time, actually, when it opens here and hits peak opening, I'd actually add another frame right after this and open the eye a little bit bigger and then drop it back down to normal height. So it kind of overshoots. It has like the eyelids carry weight if you overshoot. Almost any human movement will look a lot more natural if you overshoot. And what I mean by that is like, all right, let's clear these out. Clear these frames. Actually, let's keep the linear interpolation ball. And I'm going to hop back over here so you guys can see. I have to remember to manually switch that. It's 2 different monitors for me, so I'm just looking back and forth really fast. So I apologize if the camera work isn't supreme. Okay, so I'm gonna make this ball in half a second move from one end of the screen to the other. So it's gonna hold here for half a second, fly over to the other side, and then stop. And then let's just do the same with a black ball under it. And we'll start here on frame 1. So this is all going to be hand animated. I'm not keyframing any of this kind of stuff. We're just going to hand animate it for fun. Let's just draw a little lumpy ball here. So this is the point at which the ball starts to move based on this green keyframe. So I'm going to make a new cell there. And we're going to like wind up a little bit. So we're going to have the ball jump back. And I'm animating this at 24 frames per second. So we're going to jump back. And actually, let's do something like this. It's going to like stretch back. Let's do one more frame to really exaggerate it. It's going to hold there for 2 frames. And then we're going to have it come back down. And then we'll start making it speed up. And actually, maybe we do one more frame here where it's like accelerating. Catch up to that green ball. And this might look bad. Usually my animations are not spot on my first go through. But we know that our end point is we want to be right over here. So let's throw the final resting position right under it. I think I might have jumped too much on that first. Let's even these out a bit. So this is what animation looks like. It's not the most interesting. It's nothing crazy. But with us animating every frame, it's gonna look a little bit more alive, I want to say. And you know what? At this rate, it's actually going to beat it there. Let's do something like this. Let's have it start to slow down. And we'll have it like the end position there, but I want to have it overshoot, right? So if we know the end position's there, we'll have it like breaking, quote unquote, right here. And it's just going to like skid to a little bit of a stop here. Okay, we've animated those frames. As you can see, the ball, for the most part, isn't even like a round ball. And this is one of like the basic principles of animation called squash and stretch. Any fast movement, you want stuff to squish, to stretch. It just makes stuff look more fluid. So if I actually were to play this, let's see how this looks. It might look terrible. You never know. All right, there you go. It's fast. I know it's only a half-second animation, but you can see it looks just a little bit more alive. Let's make this. All right, I'm gonna show you something here. This little blue handle sets the end of your timeline, and you can drag that around whenever you want. So if I want to just shorten my timeline, so it's only 1 second long, and we can actually set it to loop the timeline. So now we can just have it. Oh shoot! Hop back over here. We can just have it repeat here. And so you can see squash and stretch and having stuff overshoot makes it just seem a little bit weightier and more alive and more fun, as opposed to the ball just sliding across the screen at an even pace. Yeah, there's probably a way to improve this, and maybe we can make it look like it's rolling and add some speed lines and stuff. Maybe a little dust trail behind it. But yes, booba moving, squish. Hand moving really fast. Stretch it out a little bit. A lot of people love to make fun of animation smear frames, and this is almost a smear frame. I abuse the heck out of smear frames, and I'm gonna show you some examples here. Let me Google some up. Just dropping my knowledge. Make sure nothing that'll get me canceled pops up. Okay, perfect. So, smear frames. They look hella goofy, but they're a great way to show a lot of speed really fast in a limited frame rate. Obviously, you're limited to 24 frames per second, and if you want something to look like it's moving faster, than you could possibly show, you do something like this. Oh, let me hop back over here. You do something like this, where you draw. This obviously doesn't even look like a hand at the bottom. It's like jagged and has streaks coming off of it, but it looks like he's going to be moving his hand really fast. And you're essentially drawing 3 or 4 frames on one frame. This is also like a good example. I'm pretty sure this is SpongeBob like speeding away at Mach 10. This is Bart moving side to side really fast, and instead of drawing him, it just makes it look more fluid, right? It's him smearing between frames. So don't be afraid to do this kind of stuff. If your thing doesn't look like what it was originally made as in motion, that's fine. Most of the time, people's eyes aren't going to pick up on this stuff unless they pause. Like, this is absolutely Squidward's head flying in or out of frame. And I doubt anyone watching this was actually like, why did he have 5 eyes? So, there you go. Smear it up, boys. Smear your frames. They look good. Obviously, a ball moving fast doesn't actually turn into an oval like this, but it looks good as an animation. So, pro tip. Actually, let me do this real quick. I'm just gonna, for the sake of like showing stuff now, I'm gonna bring our smooth interpolation back. I hope this works. Oh, I'm gonna have to redo it. Purses. I try to copy and paste a smooth one and just change the interpolation type, and sometimes it's really finicky about it. Let's see if that worked. I don't think it did. Oh well. I'd have to re-keyframe it. Max Millark? Want to collab with Mythic Clear? I actually don't know who that is. Sorry. I'd like to collab with other creators. The only reason I'm a little nervous to collab with really small creators is because a lot of the times they're just trying to use you for your audience, and that's obviously very frustrating and not genuine at all. And I'm all for collabing with people who have some kind of established audience, but yeah, for people who have like 100 followers, odds are they're just saying whatever they can to quote unquote be my friend and get in a video or something. So that's something I'm nervous about. Trying to be smart about it. Collab with Markiplier? Absolutely. Let's do it. Markiplier, if you're out there, hit me up, bro. I'm not famous, but I'll do it. Lovesick, yo, question for anyone. What app would you recommend for animating? Free, maybe. That's a tough one. And I think Krita actually has some good animation tools. I've never played around in Krita animation, but as far as I know, it's free and has good animation tools. Really what it comes down to, though, if you want to get into anything, right, you're gonna have to spend money. And I cannot stress enough how important it is. Don't cheap out on your tools, and don't cheap out on your software. I know not everybody has money. I didn't all through college. I literally would pound the pavement to all of the different art professors trying to get licenses, even though I wasn't even an art student in college, but I was trying to finesse licenses from them. So I could use like Cinema 4D and Redshift. All through college I did a lot of 3D rendering and art and digital photography and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was just trying to finesse software out of my professors at any given chance. So contact your school, even if there's not anything explicitly stated about like software lending or student licenses or whatever. Just go pester your professors. More often than not, they're gonna want to help you. If you show the initiative and and show them that you want to learn something, your art professors will do everything in their power to make it happen. Even in high school, give it a shot, see what they can get you. Gray had like 3 different meals throughout his entire college career. Hard vouch. Absolutely true. I was buying Gary's Quick Steak, eating Philly steaks, which I don't even think it's actual steak. I'm pretty sure it's fake meat, but it was mad cheap where I lived. So I was getting Gary Quick Steaks and then the discount buns from the store bakery. And then I was getting ramen, the classic. And then like, okay, maybe like 4, because like mac and cheese and like hot dogs, right? But yeah, that was the college food situation. I was broke through college, boys. Huel, Gray, do you use a tablet or you draw on hard mode? I use a tablet. I have a Huion 13 Canvas, which is a great budget. I say budget. It's a great budget screen tablet. $250 for. I'm pretty sure it's a 13-inch screen tablet. Is great. It hasn't let me down. It's what I've been using since almost the start of YouTube. So, yeah. I started though using a hand-me-down $80 Wacom pen tablet that was just awful. It was awful, but it's all I had, so I was using it. I will say, if you're trying to not spend money on software, you can get the version of Clip Studio Paint I'm using right now for a month for $8. You could just buy 1 month, see if it's something that you want to use. And a month is a long time to figure out if this is something you really want to pour your time into. And if you take that month and you realize like, I don't want to do animation, well, you're out $8 at the end of the day, right? So, not the end of the world. Like, you missed a McDonald's meal, but now you know. So, yeah, just spend the $8. Figure out if it's something that you want to do. It's worth it. It's worth it. Everything in life is going to cost some amount of money. Question, Mario the Devil. Question: has Alia quit smoking? Yes, Alia. I don't support smoking. Don't smoke. Don't vape. But I really just wanted an excuse to animate smoke, so that is what I did. I wanted to practice my frame-by-frame animation for smoke. That's why you'll see a lot of like me draw. Honestly, I was lazy with the recent Steam animation, but in the Red Devil series or Red Demon series, yeah, I'm Dolphin Cutie. This is Clip Studio Paint right now. Look at this, pictures moving in front of you, animation. There you go. Smoking and vaping cringe for real. Yeah, it is. Don't smoke. It's cringe. Okay, anyone got more animation-related questions? Well, I say while I'm on the topic. That is the whole topic. It's those candy... Yeah, exactly. It's candy cigarettes. She's blowing off the powdered sugar. Try adding slow in and slow out. I did, but I was trying to match the pace of the green ball. I didn't really want it to accelerate a ton. If I really wanted like a long buildup of acceleration, I would have added a lot more frames. But then again, here's, I guess, one of the struggles of... the ball would have to, basically, it would take longer to get there. Is animation easy? Absolutely not. Not Tokyo. Animation is not easy. Oh dude, Merge TV. What were those candy bags called? Dude, that's Fun Dip, baby. It's Fun Dip. The sugar stick with the powder, and you'd like lick it and you'd stick it in and... Oh yeah, that shit was good. It was mad good. Animation is hard and time consuming though. Okay. I've chugged. Talk about spacing. Yeah, what about spacing? There's a lot. Spacing can be interpreted a lot of ways. Are you talking about like visual spacing on the canvas? Or timing? Or There's a lot to unpack there, Chief. Ragu sauce, thanks for the $2. Can you make another hug video? That'd be VPog. What girl? We can make another one. Kobe Gamer, honestly, just what it is. Well, no, I know you mean spacing, but I'm not sure I understand what spacing you're talking about. Like spacing between frames, like how long to, like timing, or like visually spacing out a frame, like I don't know, like the rule of thirds and all that stuff. Ain't throwing a cell here. Are you talking like, oh, my character's face should be here and some action should be here? Spacing between frames. Okay, so you're talking more about timing. So for in the future, if you're like trying to look up a guide, definitely look up a timing guide. But yeah, I think honestly this water drop example is probably a good one, because I think this sort of covers anticipation a little bit, which is I believe it's another principle of animation. It's been a while since I've looked at the rundown on the animation principles. Hold on, this music is loud as hell, boy. Turn this down. Damn. Like picked up over time. Okay, that's better. Wuju Sugandis. Hey, get this guy out of here. Yeah, well, okay, I did make kind of another hug video with Lonnie. Oh, Huel. Do you like to use references for animating? Absolutely, I use references for everything. If you want stuff to be believable, find a picture of it. Find a video of it. Try to find a video of someone doing that action. A lot of the times you can't find exactly the same action or the perfect angle, but it'll at least help you get timing right and everything. Okay. So spacing in between frames, aka timing here, you can see it. I actually have a lot of varied timing with these different frames. Like you can see frame 1 here holds for a really long time. 2, 3, and 4 are kind of slow, and then 5 and 5A are pretty fast. And this really just comes down to a little bit of anticipation and I guess the oscillation of the leaf once the drop pops off. So most of the time, if you're looking at a water drop or water dropping, most of the time, if it's something like this without an active water source, your water droplet isn't doing very much, right? So for 40% of the time here, for this whole like action, I just have the drop sort of building at the edge of the leaf. And because this is a slow action, you can have the frames hold for a really long time. You don't need to draw 15 frames of this water droplet just sitting still or slowly building. So really I only have 3 frames of it like getting bigger here towards the end. And they just hold for several frames. And then when it starts to drop, right, the water droplet is accelerating downward. So it holds a little bit here because the droplet is starting off from a standstill. But as soon as it releases, there's 2 frames of that water actually falling. Honestly, only even 1. And the reason I only show 1 is because the camera actually falls out of frame almost immediately. Which actually it does. I think I moved the camera a little bit. It used to show that white part, but yeah, because the droplet's falling, it's falling fast, and you shouldn't be holding those frames for a long time. So essentially, the faster you want your actions, the shorter your frame should be. And for really fast actions, you should only be doing 1 frame or 1 cell per frame. That's what I should be saying. Like this is 1 cell for 2 frames. So yeah, fast actions, 1 cell per frame, Jesus. Slow actions, hold it. Don't be afraid to hold it. Play with the timing a lot. I'll usually draw something and it'll look really clunky and unnatural and awkward. And I will play with the timing a ton. Did I miss a question? Did Katsuke ask a question? What was it? Where did it go? I want to answer. Anyway, I hope that helps with your timing / spacing. Oh, merge TV is just a mod. I'm sorry, I missed the original interaction there though. Everybody's asking how long it takes for one video. How long does it take for you to take a poop? Because that varies wildly for me. It's the same as making a video. Oh, how to align sound with animation. Actually, no, that's great. That's a great question. Let's talk about getting sound into your animations. And actually, let me hop over here for a second. I'm gonna pull up, I have a huge just library of sounds, so let me get that. So Clip Studio Paint only accepts MP3 and WAV files. That is something to note. So when you're importing sounds, yeah, you can only use those two formats. If I'm trying to throw, I don't know if I have like a droplet sound, but I can throw in the newt. We could use newt as an audio. So to import a sound, you literally just drag it into your workspace, and it pops into the timeline. So you can see here, newt just popped in, and it shows in the same timeline as all of your frames. And so to line it up, like let's say I wanted to newt right when this drop left. This is how I do it. I just put my timeline scrubber, the red bar that shows what frame I'm on the action. So right when it releases, and you can sort of see, it's a little small, but you can see the wave shape on the newt like file here. So you can see the newt sound starts like right here, or to move it, it would start back here, but we just align that with the frame that our action is happening on. So now, if I were to play, I don't know if you guys will get audio from this, but it'll newt as soon as the droplet leaves. I don't know if you could hear it. I don't know if I have my audio set up properly like that. So yeah, but aligning any sound is pretty much the same way. Is just look for that waveform, line up the red bar with whatever you want your audio to play at, and then line up that waveform. If I wanted like a gunshot, it'd be the same thing. I just import a gunshot, look for the spike in the wave file, and slide it into where it needs to be. Another thing, Zero Tutorials explain to you when you're importing audio. Oh shoot, wait, I should have done it. Oh, gosh, I forgot to switch back here. Okay, let me go over this again because I'm pretty sure I forgot to switch back. When did I switch? Damn it. Anyway, this is what I was talking about. The red bar, line it up with your action, drag your sound file to line up the waveform with that action. I guess the sucky part is when I play animations, it actually doesn't display in the viewer up there. It displays in like the canvas, which is on my tablet down here. So, yeah, if I'm on the wrong thing, just spam the shit out of me in chat. See you, Toko. Thanks for sticking around. But yeah, every sound is the same. The thing I was talking about, that Clip Studio Paint and no tutorials that I know, they don't explain that if you have audio inside a camera folder, you actually can't, or maybe you can with this. There are times essentially where you can't edit the volume of your sound clip. So like to change the volume of a sound clip, you go to your object tool, select this, and you actually set a keyframe for the audio. So if I wanted to keyframe it down to 20% here, and if I wanted to like ramp up to 100% mid-newt, you can see now on the side there in this browser over here, the volume is ramping up between those keyframes. So it'll start quiet and then it'll newt up. But yeah, there are like really interesting occasions where you can't actually edit the sound, and it can be very frustrating. Generally, I've found whenever it's in a camera folder, it'll be messed up, or if it's in a folder. But yeah, you can change the volume in CSP. It's just through the object tool. And unfortunately, that is the only, you can't like add effects or anything. So that is unfortunate. Mid-newt, two-third newt, yeah, exactly. You repaste your question, Ragu Sauce. Sorry if I missed it. Yeah, sound is pretty easy. Honestly, the hardest part is finding sounds that actually fit your animations. That I have no tips for you. I got so sick of doing it every day that I just spent money and bought into like a sound effect library. Oh, Ragu sauce. You think you could have a Neko hug video? I would, but Plum's been getting a lot of love in recent videos, so I might do it with a different girl just because she gets a lot of animations. She's a fan favorite, I know. Yeah, so hey, what? On the topic of doing sound in like Premiere, absolutely, if you want to really go in depth and have like panning sound and add effects and reverb and whatever, that's absolutely the way to do it. And I think I have done that once or twice in the past, a long time ago when I was doing 3D animations for college and stuff. But I usually my sound design isn't that complicated. Especially if I'm doing a 1 day or two day video. I don't want to have my pipeline be drawing everything, roughing out sound in Clip Studio Paint, then taking all that sound out, and then recreating that sound timeline in Premiere, or I don't know, I think you can do it in After Effects or something too, or just any video editing software. 3D, how do you think you did on 3D? I was definitely an amateur at 3D modeling and 3D animation, and actually I don't have many of my files because they were all in my like computer Google Drive, and that got deleted when my school email got deleted, so I lost a lot of really cool stuff. And I can't even open the files anymore because I don't have access to Cinema 4D. But yeah, I think I did all right. I actually, in my Q&A video, I posted some screenshots of my 3D work. Hey, Katsuke, thank you, man. Thanks for hanging around. Farewell. Good night. There you go. There's sound and animation. Let's head back over to here because I do want to cover, before I like start to wrap up, I do want to cover camera stuff. So let's just throw down a layer here, and let's, I don't know, let's do something that would be easy to see if we're panning. Let's do like a bunch of dashes here. Cool. All right, so we're gonna drop in a camera here, which all of your stuff that you're gonna use for animating is all gonna be in this little the three bars up here for your timeline. So instead of clicking all these hotkeys, I personally use a lot of these buttons. I don't even set up like keyboard hotkeys, but yeah, I usually just use those buttons. Anyway, 2D camera folder up here. Plop it in. It drops into your timeline. Super easy. It also shows up on the right here in your layers list. And anything I want the camera to pan across or interact with needs to be inside that camera folder. So, for example, if I want my camera to pan from left to right, I click on my camera, select my object tool, and in my tablet view, it'll actually bring up these handlebars and the point of rotation of my camera. So if I were to like spin my camera, it's going to spin around that plus. And if I wanted to spin it, I don't know, around, like let's say my character's face over here, I'm trying to spin around it, I could spin it around that. So you could place your plus on whatever focus that you want and spin around that. But let's, this is why, actually this is kind of comes back to why I said animate in 2K but render in 1080p. If I were to drop my camera size here, obviously this isn't hitting a full 2K pixels anymore. It's only getting whatever's in this blue box. Let's get rid of the blue background because it's gonna be hard to see. There you go. Now you can see the blue box better. That's our camera bounds. And when I actually press play, that's what it'll, well, shoot. Let me put this in here. That's what it'll zoom in on. You can see it immediately zooms into those blue bounds. And that's because I have this, this like railroad / purple / folder inside the camera. So it is inside the camera folder. You can see it on the right here. It's inside it. If I were to drag that out, and now it is outside that camera folder, and we go back to play, you see it doesn't zoom in anymore. And that'll be super apparent when I actually start moving stuff. So let's take the camera, you can't see it, it's on the other screen, but I'm jumping down my timeline and I'm gonna move my camera so it pans all the way to the right. So now, as my timeline moves across, you can see the camera bounds shifting from left to right. So if I were to hit play, right now the camera's panning, but you actually can't see it because nothing is inside the camera folder. Now, when I toss this animation layer inside the camera folder, and I hit play, you can see it starts to pan. So whenever you're using a camera and you want stuff to interact with the camera, make sure it's in the camera folder. Now, there are times where you don't want stuff to interact with the camera folder, and that is, say you have something in the foreground and you kind of want it to like, oh yeah, perfect example. Perfect example. Let me hop back over here and we'll hop in this video. So right here, I have the background inside the camera folder, but Plum's blurred head isn't. And as the camera's panning, it actually just kind of looks like she's slowly looking around the room, right? That's because the camera isn't interacting with her head. If I were, her head would also match the movement of the background, and it would just kind of look like the camera's panning behind her head, instead of sort of like tracking her head left to right. So when we hop back in here, and let me add another animation layer underneath this purple railroad, and let's make it, I don't know, orange. You can't see, I'm doing stuff on the other screen, but let me just throw slashes underneath here. And this is not, so those orange slashes aren't in the camera folder, and you can see they don't move even though the camera is panning across the purple. And so you can definitely use this to create some really neat effects, especially with like zooming out. If you want like the background to zoom but the character's face to stay like perfectly centered, like if you're trying to get like that insane look, right? You could have the background in the camera folder and the character's face not. So the background is zooming out, but the character stays perfectly centered in frame. So the pro tip there. Don't be afraid to leave stuff out of the camera folder and get some neat effects with it. But yeah, I think that covers sort of the basics of the cameras. It's really not that complicated. You can use smooth interpolation or linear interpolation. We kind of went over the difference between those with the balls earlier. But yeah, camera really is just plop it in whatever you want the camera to pan across, throw it inside the camera folder, and you can keyframe the camera however you want. If you want it to spin, like we could get real crazy. Halfway through, let's just like make it spin 90 degrees and then rotate back. So jump halfway down my timeline, and I can grab my camera and we'll just have it rotate. Problem is, this is leaving the canvas, so those are just it's gonna be black space essentially. But now if we were to play, oh, it's just cut off. Interesting. Oh, and that's because the paper layer is not in the camera, so yeah. I don't know how to explain that. Essentially, the camera is only going to show what's inside the camera box, right? But because the paper layer isn't inside the camera, it's not going to rotate, so you won't get black spaces. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let me catch up on the chat because I just was talking about cameras for a while. Does Plum hurt or kill rodents? She's a cat, so I guess if you put a mouse in front of her, she would chase it. Who's my favorite OC? Of my own or other people? BCD Doc. 'Cause I don't have a favorite of my own. Well, I like them all. That's why I made them. I think there are some that are easier to draw, and I tend to draw more because they're more relatable to me. But like, just because I don't draw a ton of Zell or Zora doesn't mean I like the other characters more. I really like Zell and Zora. I think they're a great little office duo. But ideas just don't come as easily for an office setting, so yeah. Why are you not posting R34? I don't want to. I don't want to. It makes good money, but I just don't care enough. something that I'm really working away from. Anyone here play an instrument? I'll tell you right now, Snick, I don't. I do not. Okay. Back to animation. I feel like I covered a lot of the basics of how to just drop in a cell, create your folder, put your layers in there, assign it to different frames on the timeline. We talked about camera, how to move the camera folder, different types of keyframing. I went over a little bit on how I draw like overshoot and squash and stretch and anticipation, stuff like that. What else is there? I think those are like the very basic tools you need to make something similar to what I make. If you're just trying to make an animation where characters do some goofy stuff, you're not getting crazy with cameras and effects, I think those are really the basics. To render, you're just gonna go File, Export Animation. You should technically be exporting as an image sequence. I usually just do movie. And let's just call this, I don't know, tutorial. Okay. Once you select a place to save it, sorry, it popped up on a different monitor. You're really just exporting at 1920 by 1080. Apply your camera effects if you have cameras panning around. And then make sure this frame rate matches whatever you have your timeline set to. So at the start, I always have mine set to 24. I always export in 24 frames per second. Animations at 1080p. You never want this to be higher than your original. And if you're using a camera that's scaled down, you definitely don't want to be exporting at your original resolution. You want to be exporting lower. So that's why I always say, create the file in 2K, export at 1080p. Your stuff will come out crispy at 1080p, even if you're only zoomed in on half the canvas. Stuff won't look blown up and gross. But that's it. You hit OK. It'll export your MP4, and you're good to go. That's your animation complete. I can do a couple drawing questions before I wrap up. I really didn't want to stream a ton because I want to hang out with my friends today. But I will. I'll field some drawing questions. What do you want to talk about? So let's clear a bunch of this stuff now that we've covered it. And of course, this will be archived in my Gray Draws playlist. So if you guys ever want to come back and look at stuff, it'll be there for you. It will be there for you. All right, draw a guinea. Well, okay, I'm not taking drawing requests. I'm gonna try to answer some questions on maybe what I do to make my drawings look better. I can't teach you how to just straight up draw well. There's not a soul in the world that can do that for anyone. But I can definitely tell you what I try to do to make my stuff look better. How about how you do human anatomy? People might call me a cheater for this. Usually I look up like a Getty Images pose. Like, just like stock image, woman walking. Let's just look that up. We'll pop an image over here. All right, this to me, absolutely not cheating. And y'all can get on my case about it, but I'm gonna show you how I draw, because I can't spend 15 hours on every frame trying to do it. I've definitely gotten a lot better at there are times where I don't look up a Getty Images or image stock or Shutterstock, whatever picture. But if I'm really struggling with proportions or anything, I literally draw like, here's the chest lump and here are the hips. And then I'll do like some kind of spine, I guess. Another thing I usually draw whenever there's like the neck V here is big. That kind of helps me determine where the front of the body is and everything. Obviously I don't follow like, I'm not gonna follow like, oh, her jacket comes out like this. But just the general shapes, doing stuff like that helps a lot. And there are a lot more videos recently where I don't go and grab help from images, but this is how I started because nobody's a professional and I'm certainly not. No matter what my sub count or anyone's sub count says, you know, do what you need to do to make it look good. Just don't copy and paste. Like, don't copy and paste Bing Bong's fan art of Yor and then trace it line for line, because that's scuffed. And honestly, I probably wouldn't do this specific like way of getting an enemy down with another person's art unless you're really transparent about it. But yeah, this will give you very human proportions and not anime proportions, because obviously anime girls are like usually really squashed up here and have like long legs and like hips that like come way out, and they're more like that. But you know, you adjust as you go. But yeah, this is how I would get like my basic anatomy. That's my pro tip. Rus leader. I've not committed any war crimes. I'm just a good dude. Martini, you're welcome to use my art in your Photoshop class or whatever. Just don't monetize it in any way. That's all I ask. Or if you're like publicly posting it, credit would be nice. Especially if you're just altering images that I've drawn. Are you drawing sussy things for money? No. I don't draw sussy things for money. And I don't commit war crimes. Russ Leader. Well, Russ Leader, I've committed 0 war crimes. Yeah, that's how I go about getting an enemy down quick. Find a stock image, pose it's kind of like what you want. Get the rough shapes and lines from that, and then adjust it so it fits your style and what you think looks good. Shooting for realism isn't always the best thing. So, yeah, I certainly don't. I just get a real, like, there's not a person in the world I think that looks like this. And actually, I didn't even get a reference for this one. I just threw down some general shapes that I know work. So there you go, an example of working without a reference. Anything else before we like wrap up here? I'm satisfied with the amount of time I've been streaming. In an hour and a half. I'm happy lad. Lonnie posted a new video, so like make sure you go check that out too. What are my inspiration for drawing? I just like sharing art. I just like sharing my animations more than anything. Like, I don't know if there's anything where I'm like, I'm so inspired to draw. I mean, okay, like coming out of Top Gun, I'm like, damn, I really want to animate some planes. And then I realized like, I've tried to animate planes and I don't do very well. But no, just like consuming super good media makes me want to also create something similar. But I don't know. It's more the fact that I just love sharing like my goofy little animations with people. Like I love seeing reactions. Love seeing people commenting like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cute," and then right under that, someone's like, "This is cursed. Go to church, you idiot." Meanwhile, there's another guy who's like, "I'm gonna hit you with my car as soon as I see you." It's great. But I love it. I get a lot of hate. I just don't care enough. I get that, but when I draw something and it turns out bad, then okay, look, it can definitely be very frustrating when you take the time to draw something and it ends up being bad. However, if you just stop when things are bad, you're never gonna get better. So it's okay to be bad. Like, you're gonna suck and it's fine. I have a lot of my stuff looks really bad when I first make it too. Did I start on Flipnote Clip? I did not. I started on Hatino Flipnote. JK, I was doing 3D animation before this. My first 2D animation adventure was in Clip Studio Paint. I just paid the $8 to see if it was worth it. A lot of people asked for it. Oh no, my Patreon link isn't working. Well, shoot. Go to my Twitter and go to the link tree there. That should work. I may have just used an old link or something. I'm gonna ask for my... Oh yeah, opinions on Teleport and Dango Heart. I don't know Dango Heart. Teleport's great. He makes really good animations. I have no negative. I will say, love Teleport. His animations are awesome. He's commented on one of my videos. Like, he's a cool dude. I enjoy watching his stuff. Not that I get around to watching YouTube very often. However, there's a small portion of his fans that I despise. And I'm sure I also have fans that are the same way. And I'm talking about the people who come in from Teleport videos, not even just to my channel, but to other smaller animation channels that I frequent. And they just comment. They comment shit like, Teleport, you need Teleport's permission to make any animation involving a female or black and white. Teleport, great guy, makes awesome animation. I say great guy, I've never met him, but makes great animations, super talented, obviously works super hard. He's successful for a reason. He's incredible. That doesn't mean that he is the end-all be-all owner of animation, and I hate that mentality. Don't gatekeep tinier animators because they're trying to pursue their hobby. You're an idiot if you're like that. If you've ever commented, even as my fans, if you've ever commented on another person's video, grayscaling copy, or you're trying to be like grayscaling, who cares? Let them. Let them. If they like my work and they're trying to make something similar, go for it. Don't gatekeep it. That's so awful. I get so many comments that are like, you're just Walmart Teleport. You're just a worse Teleport. Teleport, but with one color. Shitty Teleport. Dude. Teleport did this 6 months ago. He made an abstract animation with an eyeball? That's crazy. I didn't realize he was the only one that could do that. It's so frustrating. I respect Teleport a lot, but man, that small portion of viewers make it... They're just the worst. They're the worst people. So I hope nobody from my crowd goes around and puts down other animators because they think that those animators are similar to me. Never do that, please. There you go. They're my thoughts on Teleport. I don't know Dango Heart, so I'm not going to say anything. What software have I used to animate so far? For 2D, just Clip Studio Paint. For 3D, Blender, Maya, I want to say 3ds Max, like way back in high school, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Cinema 4D was my bread and butter, and then I would render in Octane or Redshift, depending on what licenses I could get my hands on. I think I even finessed an Ardent license for a little while, which was awesome. Yo, Gray, make an animation based off a post-nuclear exchange/war series with your OCs. That'd be great. That sounds like a lot of setup and a lot of animation that I don't have the manpower to do. But I appreciate the idea and enthusiasm. It's just something that I don't have the capacity to make. Yeah, Hugh, I know they are just toxic fans looking for someone to fight with, but it's, you know, it frustrates me because I personally, like, I got over, like, I will always be overshadowed by Teleport and his fandom. Like, I got over that, like, 1 month into starting to pick up speed, and I was just getting blasted with those comments daily. But it's definitely, it sucks when you are just, like, getting there and you're like, oh my gosh, people are comparing me to Teleport, that's awesome. And then you realize that they only see you as just, like, a worse version of him. And you're like, you're trying to form your own artistic identity, and it's definitely frustrating when people don't see that. So, yeah, I don't know. Just don't do it to smaller artists because not everybody can, you know, shelf that and realize, oh, yeah, they are just idiots. I don't know. You put a lot of work in animation, so when people sit there and dog on it 24/7, it doesn't feel good. You know, I'm putting 10 hours into a video to entertain people for free, and then they just come and shit on you. It sucks. Yeah, exactly. Don't beat on don't beat on anyone just because you don't like their content. Just don't click on it next time. Don't be dumb. Should we make a Cold War? I'm not gonna make a Cold War video of them fighting over a bagel. What's with you guys in Soviet stuff? Why are we glorifying the Russia period of like terror? The Soviet era sucked, like by and large for everybody. Let's not. We're not doing that. I'm not a Russia boo. I think this is probably a good place to wrap up, unless we have like a last minute thing. Dude, hey, Stranger Things, like season 4 was bussin'. I can't wait for volume 2. Oh my goodness. It's so good. Okay. I think I'm gonna wrap up, boys. I'm gonna go play some like War Thunder or something. Hungry I did for check the first video posted in April. I did gender bend them. Oh, when did I okay, SWAT in bed. Last question. When did I start and what will you do for your anniversary? No clue what I'm gonna do for my anniversary. But I started in I'm pretty sure October. I think it was beginning of October. It was my first video where I posted Corne sneezing. Oh yeah, I'm a huge War Thunder fan. I'm a big aviation person. If you guys don't know, I got my degree in aerospace engineering, so yeah. I studied how to design a VTOL aircraft, and I wanted to have a focus on orbital mechanics, but unfortunately the classes didn't line up. So, but I was able to get a little bit into orbital mechanics. It was a good time. What music do I like to listen to? Really angry, like indie rap and drift funk. Okay, I'm answering a lot more than one question. Sheesh. Actually, it's gonna be more editing later. Dang it. More questions? Let me. There's not even anything happening on my screen. I've just been sitting here like a goofball. This has become a podcast. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this is gonna be like I think it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be like really like haunting. I want to try to make like not a horror animation, but something that's like kind of eerie and creepy. We're gonna see if I can do it. Dude, okay. I would love to get some other like animators together and have like an hour-long podcast where we just talk about like our favorite like animation piece we've consumed or seen, or like just like animation news, art news, something like that. Oh man, it'd be so fun. Obviously we talk about anime because I'm sure 70 out of the 72 viewers right now are weebs. But yeah, dude, I think that would be a lot of fun. Genuinely. But I don't know. I don't have any creator friends. So I could call it Great Taste, but it's a play on my name. That's too close to Trash Taste, isn't it? But I would love to collab with Teleport. Oh, I don't know how to get in contact with him. You know what's funny? Teleport's following Aka on Twitter and not me. Can you believe that? He's following my VTuber and not me. Dude, I need to watch Spy Martini. I need to watch Spy Family, but I'm waiting for it to actually just completely finish. I really suck at watching things week to week because my schedule is out the window. Because my like actual IRL job work schedule has me scheduled for almost 80 hours a week, like 80 hours worth of work a week, and then I also try to animate on top of that. So I work a little over 40 hours a week at my real job, and then I animate for 40 hours a week. So my schedule is just hosed. And I also try to hang out with my friends and game and do other stuff. Films to recommend. Oh boy, Power Beam, you're gonna have to, thank you for the $2 first of all, but you're gonna have to tweet that at me because that's gonna get lost in chat and I will not remember that. Koyandis Katsi and Angels A. I won't remember those, bro. I'm sorry. Those are whack names. Tweet at me though. tweet at me because Twitter's like the best way to get in touch with me if you're trying to do anything with me. Anyway, now, you know what's funny? He doesn't think Aka is me because I made a video joking about how everybody thinks I'm Aka. And he commented on that one and he was like, oh, you too? Because everybody thinks he's Nyla. Funny. Okay, here's the thing. I want to create like an Aka x Nyla like meme video. But also it feels weird to just animate with someone else's character, and I don't want it to be like a tacky like view grab, like, oh, Aka and Nyla teleport question mark. Like I just kind of want to make a joking video about how they're different and we're different people, because I think it could be funny. I'm not sure how well I could mimic his style to actually draw her, but I think it could be funny. Also, kind of want to stream games. I'm not sure how to go about best doing that. Like, I could just stream like Hearthstone. I don't play I downloaded Hearthstone today, got my ass pounded, but I love Hearthstone, man. I played it so much. 5 years ago, I was using a card back from 2015 when I downloaded it today. But yeah, no, the game has changed so much. I got okay, I don't know what they added these colossal cards, right? They are the most broken little shits I've ever seen in a video game. This dude popped one down. It was a 7/7 with Wind Fury, and it had two hands that were 4/2, but they didn't take damage when they attacked. So this dude was dishing out like 22 damage of a fucking turn. It was insane. Busted. He was busted as hell. But yeah, I'm a huge War Thunder enjoyer as well. And I know maidenless behavior, but I've been playing League with the boys, and I'm really, really bad at League, but it's fun. It's fun to hang out with my friends, so that's why I play it. Do you have plans? Do you have other plans for merch? Yeah, actually, I do. I kind of want to hold off because Uwu Market's getting absolutely blasted with people trying to work with them, and they've offered to work with me again, and I was going to do Lonnie themed merch, so it's going to be blue. And similar style, I think, to the Aka merch, because I really love how it came out. Dude, Zach Kirby, I don't even know what the claw catcher is, dude. The last time I played Hearthstone was when they had the Dragon campaign in 2015. Man, I wish I could be your friend. Well. We have a Discord, and I chat there every day with viewers. It's a very good time. And I mean, we've only had one, but we did host a Jackbox game night there. Sometimes me and my friends just stream games in the Discord for people to watch. You get previews to all my animations, like screenshots of work in progress. And if I finish the night before, I upload my videos privately there. Regu, it's done through Patreon, so if you just get the lowest, literally any tier patron, but the lowest is $3. Yeah, it's pay to win Discord. Before you guys get on me, the pay to win Discord, animation doesn't pay well on YouTube. It doesn't. It like pays next to nothing for how much effort it takes. So that's why I have the Patreon, and I don't even have time to like give it special stuff. You just get early access and you get to hang out with me. And the girls too. Aka and Lonnie are both in there. Their voice actresses are in there. But yeah, you get early access to everything, and work in progress, and private streams, and voice chats, and it's good stuff. Yeah, exactly. And people will spend 5 hours editing a video game video that, you know, might get half the views, but can run 4 times the ads and make 4 times as much money. Just how it goes. I know what I was getting into when I picked animation. I'm doing it obviously because I love doing it, not because I'm here for the bread. But it'd be nice to get a steady enough income where I can just do this full time. And I've been trying to get there, and like I'm at the point where like I could do it full time, but if a month goes really bad and I don't make money, then it's like, oh shit, I have bills. And just with like how much YouTube goes up and down, it's definitely a scary leap, especially because I have like a stable engineering job right now. So yeah, if you guys do drop the $3 to join the Patreon Discord, thank you. Working me closer to the full-time animation deal. Yeah, my side job is my main job, but I'm an engineer. So. Yeah, it is scary, and I think like if like the thing is like other YouTubers my size who post normal length videos make like a lot of money, right? But because my videos are only 30 seconds, I don't make a lot of money. And it like really just depends. Like it relies on me essentially having like a viral video a month that gets like millions of views to push me to the point where it's like, okay, this is like a comfortable amount of money to live in. I specialize in building system designs. So, no, the shorts payout is trash. YouTube shorts are awful, and their monetization system is not good. And also, shorts don't get the view range and exposure that my videos normally get. Well, okay, see, Ragu Sauce, I do have a second channel where I was gonna just do like gaming and other stuff where I could make normal content. The problem is I don't have time. Like, I have a bunch of footage from when I went to Anime Central just sitting there. I say a bunch. I have a bunch of pictures and like random little clips, and I was just gonna narrate over my Anime Central adventure with my friends and what we did and everything that was cool, all the merch and stuff I bought. How I talked to Demon Dice, which was awesome. Got my first ever Aka merch signed by her. Is great. I have footage and pictures just sitting there. I can't find the time to like sit down and edit it without taking away from my normal upload schedule. And if I take time away from the normal upload schedule, it's just a fat L because YouTube likes consistent and frequent uploads, especially when they're short videos. So it's this like looping hell of like, I want to make different content, but I need more time to make different content. And I don't have time to make different content, so I just have to stick with the normal schedule. Even though like I have everything I need to make other videos, I'm stuck. I'm stuck, and I am trying to figure out how to get out of it. So yeah, it's a struggle, but what can you do? Favorite animes? Gurren Lagann and Ghost in the Shell are my two peak Japanese animation chunks. When I say Ghost in the Shell, I mean like the original movie. Standalone Complex is good though. I just bought that on Amazon to watch again, which is like the show. And actually, I got, oh my gosh, okay, story from Anime Central, right? Ghost in the Shell is a classic, but it's not incredibly popular in terms of like convention stuff, because it's not like trendy new. Like the last time they dropped Ghost in the Shell stuff, it was Scarlett Johansson and it sucked. So it's not insanely popular, and I went around to like every booth basically just asking, do you have a Ghost in the Shell figure? I want one. Finally, some guy pulled one out from Arise, which was like kind of the prequel movies to the original, where she's like assembling her whole team. And I was like, great, I'll take it. Didn't even ask the price. My B, there was no price on it. I was expecting, $150. Tops like 200. Brother sticks my card in and it's $275, and I was like, well, shit. Oops, I probably should have asked about the price. So yeah, I was committed though. Full commit, baby. I wanted that ghost. It's actually a really cool figure. And then I got a Yoko figure from Gurren Lagann, which was a lot cheaper. It still looks nice though. No, I didn't get a Funko Pop. I actually hate Funko Pops. I think they look like dog. Sorry to the Funko Pop enjoyers. Yeah. Okay, the nice part is, at least, right, I knew going into Anime Central that I was going to spend a lot of money. And I still actually came out, like, under the amount of money that I had allotted for my fun weekend with my friends. So I sat there and I was like, okay, I have this chunk set aside. I don't care. Like, I will spend all this money and I won't feel bad about it. Didn't even spend the full stuff I had set aside because they didn't have good t-shirts there, which was kind of upsetting. The t-shirt game at Anime Central 2022 was weak. But yeah, not a fan of Funko Pops. I think they look like turds. I do get the desire to like collect them. I think people get Funko Pops literally just because they want to have like that wall of boxes more than they actually like how they look, right? Like nobody looks at a Funko Pop and it's like, dude, that looks pog. That's so cool. It looks like a turd plastic brick. If you're gonna get like a little like chibi style figure, get a Nendoroid. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. They're like way better looking. Dude, there's only the top 2 Gurren Lagann characters, and it's Kamina and Yoko. Let's be real. Those are the dub takers. Huel, what's your favorite Studio Ghibli film? Probably Mononoke. Mononoke, Nausicaa, and Laputa are all like my top 3. Howl's Moving Castle is great, but I don't have a crush on Howl, so it's like, you know, I think if someone says Howl's Moving Castle is their favorite, it's because they have a crush on Howl. No cap. No cap. That's all facts, and you know it is. Ziki, because YouTube is unstable, and it's up and down, and my worst months on YouTube don't cover my expenses. Gray U2s win. I don't even have like a persona. I'm just the dude who draws. Maybe Akka and Lonnie would get U2s if I ever got that big. Who are my top 4 waifus? Oh my god, dude. I don't simp that hard for any waifus. Like recently? I don't know, dude. Kusanagi from Ghost Michelle? Yoko from Gurren Lagann? 2 more? What have I watched that was good recently? Let me hop on my Crunchyroll here. My Crunchyroll account on my other monitor. Let me see. Yes. I don't know. Ooh, Revy from Black Lagoon is a waifu, bro. Don't even say she's not, because you know. You know Revy's waifu material. I'm trying to think, bro. Who like comes to mind? Oh, dude. Hammer Girl from Jujutsu Kaisen. Protect at all costs, dude. I love her. I have watched Toradora. Toradora's great. Yo, alright. See you, Lovesick. Thanks for hanging. Appreciate you. Toradora's great. Actually, Nisekoi was good until it got really bad. But Nisekoi had a strong start, and it was on par with Toradora until it kind of just like fell off because it was like boring as hell. Computer specs, the important ones, 32 gigs of RAM. I have an RTX 2080, i7 something. I don't know, dude. It's been a minute.
Liquid cooled 240mm radiator. Corsair dildo.
32 gigs of RAM, not 2 gigs of RAM. It's fine. But yeah, the Nisekoi like ending, like Nisekoi like teased too much. I know it's a harem anime, but it was so much better when it was just a romance anime. Like they should have just committed to it being romance and it would have been better. No, I need to watch Spy Family. I did watch Assassination Classroom. Kind of got bored of it though. I don't think I ever finished it. I said 32 yet. I don't know if that's. I was gonna say a funny word, but then I got scared that it was someone's gonna get offended. Yagabagool. There you go. Yeah, I got bored of Assassination Classroom. I won't even cap, bro. I didn't finish it. I got tired of it. Yeah, Mindswept. I mean, Mindweb. I'll have it archived, and then at some point, when I have the mental energy, I'll edit it and upload like a condensed version of it. How are we at 80 viewers still? I haven't even done anything for like 30 minutes. Assassination Classroom is not as good as you think it is, Martini. I'm sorry to break the news to you, but it's not as good as you think. Okay, actually, you want to know what's like a banger anime that I'm in the process of watching, so please no spoilers. But Sunny Boy has been the single most interesting piece of anime I've seen in the past 6 months. Oh, okay, I shouldn't say that because Made in Abyss was also really good. But Sunny Boy is incredible. Like, artistically. So good, wow. Oh my, I don't think many people, because it's, okay, Sunny Boy is like, it's weird because you're not gonna look at it and be like, this is the most entertaining thing ever. It's so abstract and weird, but it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Oh my gosh. Can you touch the grass? I already did today, baby. Yo, see you hungry. Thanks for stopping by. Vinland Saga is awesome. Can't wait for season 2. It's coming out soon, right? Or season 3? New season's coming out. I don't know. I binged all of Vinland Saga that existed like 6 months ago. Dub or sub guy doesn't matter to me. Obviously, there are occasions where the dub is awful and I won't watch it, but I don't mind a dub, especially if it's done well. Dubs have gotten good recently. Sue me, but dubs have gotten good. If you ask me if I was watching dubs back in 2010, absolutely not. Holy cow. They just like pulled people out of the local Dairy Queen parking lot and asked them to voice lines. But dubs are good now, honestly. They really are. Yo, see you, Regu. Thanks for hanging. I do not have a My Anime list. I should make one. I literally, for the longest time, didn't know My Anime list existed. So I was writing down every single anime I watched in a notepad file on, like, my old tablet that I got for free from my sister. I had, like, a notepad file full of, like, hundreds of anime. Oh my gosh, my cat is, like, hacking up a hairball in the background. Do I read manga? I don't really. I actually enjoy American comics a lot, or Western style comics, I should say. But I don't really get into manga because I appreciate the animation over the manga art. I know, it'd kill me. It's not the source material. It's not as good. I understand. I understand that the manga generally is probably better and the art's really good, but well, I don't know. I'm an animation guy. I love watching the animation over anything. I will patiently wait for a season to come out of anime over reading the manga because I'm impatient. Yeah, Frostcale dubs do have their moments from time to time, and I really do think that dubs in the past 4 years have they just have picked up in quality. They're fine to watch. Sub-dub debate should have ended by now. It's come to a natural conclusion, in my opinion. Gray, what's it like being an animator on YouTube? A lot of hard work. But it's fun. If you can tolerate a lot of hate, it's fun. Little Witch Academia is incredible. I love it. I loved it. I wish there was more, honestly. Yeah, Little Witch is wonderful, man. What's that? That makes me think of not Girls in Panzer. I love Girls in Panzer though. That is like a secret love, guilty pleasure anime. Girls in Panzer, just schoolgirls in tanks shooting each other. Yo, Pelton, thanks, man. I'm glad you like my art. I couldn't get into Bunny Girl. Hey Gray, what's your opinion on romance anime? I love it. It's really nice. It's fun. I am much more. I enjoy the occasional, like, what is it, shonen action anime. Like Jujutsu Kaisen was awesome, but generally I enjoy watching like slice of life, romance, slower stuff a lot more. It's just more fun for me. I don't know. I watched a ton of Fairy Tail, and I've watched a lot of just action anime, and if it's sort of just action for action's sake, I get bored. The fight scenes can be awesome, but like a lot of the times it's always like some overpowered. It's either a super overpowered main character, or the main character is like an absolute weenie and is whining the whole time, which is I just hate watching. I have watched Orin. I love Orin. It's great. I watched that, actually, I watched it partially a long time ago, and only recently I rewatched the whole thing because of Akka. But yeah, no, I just can't get into the action stuff. A lot of it's really samey. Yo, gonk. Gonk, gonk, gonk. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hard-pressed to find an action anime that can hold my interest just because they're recycle. I don't know, romance is the same, but it focuses a lot more on, like, generally, it focuses a lot more on character interaction and character development. And even if it's, like, slower and there's not people punching each other through walls and splitting planets open, everything's just, like, a little bit more real. You know what I mean? What's that one anime that nearly or completely changed your view on life? Ghost in the Shell. Original movie. That's a big one. Probably the most influential, like, piece of anime I've watched. Or animation in general. That, and actually, Jinro. I really, really like Jinro. What an incredible movie. The silent voice was great. But Jinro, man, this is probably one that I don't think a lot of people have seen. Man, watch this. It looks like a badass, like, action anime. It's got its action moments. It's a lot more political though, and focuses more on the mental toll of being a soldier under like a near Nazi reign. It's really neat. It's kind of an alternate history. Apparently there's a live action, and I'm pretty sure it was dog. I don't think I could stomach much of it, but yeah, this is a magnificent movie, and I can't recommend it enough. Like this frame alone, oh my gosh, look at this resolution. Oh, let me pop this up. There we go. Look at this resolution, man. But yeah, Jinro. Sorry, I forgot I was on the tablet screen. Yeah, it looks like it's badass action. It has very brief spurts of action, but a lot of it is just introspection and inside this soldier's mind as he's doing things that he regrets. Alternate history anime. Which one of you favored the most? I don't know a lot of alternate history anime. I didn't even know that was like a big enough thing. Yeah, it's very much like Wolfenstein, but I'm pretty sure this was like before the modern Wolfenstein stuff came out. I want to say this is a movie from like the 90s. 1999, yeah. Oh, released in 2001 over here. This is, yeah. It's an action political thriller. Heavier emphasis on the politics, though. Great movie. Recommend. Please watch. I'm trying to think of what else that I've watched that's like had a profound impact on my life. I don't know. I was not feisty, and I've talked about this a little bit before. It's not super public knowledge. I was not inspired by Teleport to animate. Oh yeah, Saga of Tanya the Evil is awesome, but I was not inspired by Teleport. I was inspired by Hololive. That's why my original videos are Hololive. But I was honestly running out of clips that I wanted to animate from them, so I just created Akka and made my own goofy videos, and they ended up doing better than the Hololive stuff. So I just ran with Akka, and then the other girls came along. I bet Gray likes Rent-A-Girlfriend. Rent-A-Girlfriend was alright. It's pretty good. Hololive? It's like the VTuber agency. It's like all these girls you've seen taking over YouTube. VTubers. Favorite Hololive member? Ooh, it's been a minute since I've watched. Probably Callie. At first, actually, I really didn't like Callie. She's awkward and not herself, but she's fallen into being herself a lot more, which has been great because I was a fan of. Psst, it's a secret, but I was a fan of Demon Dice before I was a fan of Callie. So, yeah. My voice, it's me. Yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, you can also see my face. There's pictures of me at a convention on Twitter. Thank you, Phoenix. Aqua or Plum, you have to pick one to survive. Wait, survive the Sigma male apocalypse. Who do you choose? Probably like Akka because she's a literal demon. I like the shark girl. Yeah, Gura. Actually, Gura is the reason I have a channel. which is crazy. The chain of events leading up to my channel's creation. So my friend used to stream on Twitch a lot, and we played this game called Blazing Sails. And this was right when Gura was like 2 weeks into streaming. Yeah, Gargura. And me and my friend played so much Blazing Sails. It was the tiniest game. Nobody played it. So we were like top in the world at Blazing Sails. Like we would go on like 42 win streaks in this game. It was basically like a pirate ship battle royale. And so for whatever reason, Gura picks this game up and plays it on stream. I had no clue what a VTuber was at this time. Like the closest I'd gotten, I guess what's her name? AI Girl. Oh my gosh, she was like the origin of all VTubers. I watched a little bit of her stuff when it was subbed, because I was like, what the hell is this anime girl on YouTube doing? This is kind of neat. But I watched like a couple of her videos, forgot about VTubers. Got into a game while my friend was streaming on Twitch with Gura. We had no clue who she was. We ended up just like clapping her, right? Because we had put like an obscene amount of hours in this game. And she was like first one. Yeah, Kizuno Ai, that's it. We ended up just clapping Gura. I won't lie, I'm pretty sure we were toxic and we're like emoting and stuff, whatever. Anyway, all of a sudden, my friend who usually gets like 10 viewers on Twitch jumps up to like 80 or 100. And all these people are pouring in like, you killed our Same-chan, you killed Same-chan. And we're like, what the hell is even that? And yeah, I ended up like checking out her stuff, watched back to the VOD to like figure out like when we killed her and everything. Sure enough, yep, there is video evidence. I don't know if the video's still up of my friend and I killing Gura live on stream. But that was like my introduction to like modern VTubers. And then I got like addicted to watching like Muna and Pekora and Korone, and then I animated Korone's sneeze for my first video ever on YouTube. So the grayscaling channel can genuinely be traced back to us killing Gura in Blazing Sails, the game that we played hundreds of hours on, and she got clapped like her second game by us. There you go. Yeah. How the channel started, boys. And now we're here. Getting a hoodie signed by Demon Dice. Yeah, I don't... Exactly, dude, it was straight up that. Everybody's sitting here like, you killed Same-chan. I don't even know who that is. But yeah, it is a very interesting roundabout origin story. But kind of cool. Ooh. Voice crack, my throat's dry. Well, I think we're officially an hour over when I wanted to stop. Gulp, gulp. I think we end on that. It's been a fun stream. Forgot the part where that's my problem. Alright, guys. Thank you for stopping by. We really got distracted from actually teaching animation. But I'm glad I could stream. Probably delayed this video's release by a day, but that's fine. 100% fine. I'm glad I could do this. This was a lot of fun. So, boy, I will catch y'all some other time. Follow me on Twitter, please, if you'd like actually want to get in touch with me. DM me about projects or anything. No promises that I'll work with you, but DM me on Twitter. That's the best way to get a hold of me, or email me. Yeah. Farewell, brothers. It's been an honor. Oh wait, go watch Lonnie's ASMR video, because it's like nighttime, it's sleep time. Go listen to it, put it on loop, fall asleep to it. She has a nice voice. Okay, bye!